What up? Welcome back. My name's Ryan. This is the Lift League podcast. I just realized that this whole season I've never really said what it is that I'm doing. I guess I just assume people have been listening for the last, three seasons. But I'm working on an app. I wrote a training program that's kind of massive. It all started during COVID lockdown. It's just kind of ballooned over time, and then AI came out, and it became possible to do a lot of coding myself using agents, and so that's what I've been doing. And I actually built it one time all the way through, and then had to get a new machine, and all this stuff happened in life. My father passed away, all that stuff, and so I started over, and this is where I'm at now, which is officially now further than I made it the first time, which is pretty awesome. That I'm officially further than I made it the first time. Where I left off last time was the 411s for the blocks, which is basically just the info about a block, right? You don't want to run a workout without knowing what it is. And so I have all this information about all this stuff because it's the training program itself has been around for almost 5 years now. And so the info for each training program has gotten very specific and, well flushed out. So I've got it. And I on this round building it, I started everything from like a schema database point, and then worked forward building the face of it, the access point, the UI. And so I was pretty sure I had built out everything to be able to handle the 411s. But frequently what I do, I go into the previous project, I copy all the code out of a particular chunk, and then I show it to my agent, and I'm like, this is what we were up to, just to give it a little reminder. And we had this conversation about it. It's just like, these things aren't lining up. You're going to have to change all the schema, and you're going to have to do some migration and all that stuff. I'm like, nope. That sucks. That's a lot more than it's supposed to be doing. And so I was pretty concerned. So, I had to take a pretty deep look at it and realize that things were just named incorrectly, like column headers. And once I got those all lined up correctly, it was done. Like, just hit go and boom, it was populated. And it's fucking beautiful. It's like, it's so solid, and it looks so good. And it's thorough, and it's like, and just the way it's all organized now on the back end, like it populated so much more helpful information just without having to type a single word, and it's just, I don't know. It felt good. It was like, it went from like, damn, I really thought I had this thing like planned correctly to like, oh, I'm so screwed. And then, nope, that's it. That's done. Easy. On to the next thing. So I don't know. That was like a cool, like kick in the pants. So I kind of went on this like terror sprint, and I ended up, getting the data model completely is like solid now. Firebase is totally integrated with authentication. You can now use your Google account to sign up and log in. Google Play is configured for release signing. I'm now doing internal testing through Google Play. That's the step that actually officially got me further, because getting it all up and running on Google Play was a big step. And then getting RevenueCat in. So like all the subscription stuff is in place. Analytics are there, Crashlytics, AppCheck, Firestore, Firebase storage. They're all there. I got the leaderboards in. I got public and private profiles, all the privacy settings so that you can go through and change every single little like bit of your public profile to decide what you want to be visible. Like, do you want your PRs on bench squats and deadlifts visible? Do you want your badges visible? Do you want all your stats visible? All your check-in, your timelines, all that stuff. So you can customize those things, each one on its own. Block runs, how the app handles multiple runs of the same block, because that's a big part of it, is repeating blocks over time. Export and import, that saved my ass, being able to just export all of my lift data, because once I moved to testing through Google Play, it forces you to uninstall stuff that you install as like a debug directly to your device. And so I had to wipe out like all of my data. So fortunately, I had already done that, the export and import stuff before I did the Google Play. So I was able to export all my Lyft data, all my badge stuff, everything. And and then when I had to, I installed the new version from Google Play, I was able to import and man, it's all right there. It was seamless. It was incredible. The scoring system for custom blocks. Man, that like that felt great. That was also something I never really got worked out in the previous build because it took a lot of predictive math, I guess you could say. You had to you could based on one lift, it then predicts everything that's going to happen throughout the course of a block for you based on standard progressive overload, and then it creates the score for you. I don't want to say too much about it because it's my own little thing, but it works. It's man, it's sweet. Yeah, it's so awesome. Um, RevenueCat was actually kind of crazy. Like I got some flashbacks to whatever, I can't even remember what I was using, the Code Magic or something, where you do the virtual max to build out the API, what not API, IPA for the iOS builds from Droid build code. And man, that was like I was so worried about it, but really RevenueCat is pretty easy. It was just a little strange because they populate some default stuff and then that automatically links to the stuff um in Google Play, but once you get it all kind of sorted, it's sweet. It's like your app is kind of like where the products live, and Google Play is where the money is exchanged. But everything in between those things, it's easier to just use the service, and that's what RevenueCat is. It can help handle all of the I don't know, returns and just subscriptions and what happens, all the like billing timing and stuff like that, and it's more secure than doing it yourself, that's for sure. So the way it works out now is it is going to be a subscription based product, but there's a permanent preview where if you create an account, you can permanently explore the entire product. What I was going to do was allow for custom block building for free and then have the actual training program be behind a paywall. But what I've decided is make the whole thing behind a paywall, and you can explore the whole thing, really get to understand the benefits of it for free, and then you can use it for with a trial run for I think I set it for 7 days, but I think I'm going to up it to like 2 or 3 weeks so that you can get an idea because of the scoring and the progressive overload and stuff, the way that it's meant to help create that sustained motivation through gamification and whatnot. I want people to be able to experience what it's like to come back and lift. So that free trial period is going to be I think a couple of weeks, maybe even a month. I don't know. But then it'll go to a paywall. And I mean, otherwise I'm just gonna be spending a lot of money for people to use a product because you gotta pay for all the cloud usage and storage and shit. So it sucks to have to do it, but that's just the way it goes. If I could do it for free forever, I would, but that ain't gonna be how it works. Um, So right now I am doing what's called closed testing or internal testing, which is just me making sure it all loads right and I'm not getting any crashes and whatnot. And right now we're good. And then it's going to move to the closed testing, which will be, people won't have to pay for the subscription. They'll have what's called a license testing account. And so they can basically just move through the paywall using a test purchase account, which is automatically populates if your email is on file with Google Play. And then it's on to open testing, which I think that's where I'm going to have 12 users. And that'll be fun. Got to find 12 people with Androids. I know a lot of people with iPhones somehow, but not a lot with Androids. And yeah. So next up is training circles, which is going to be beastly. That's a big deal because it gets into a lot of privacy stuff, a lot of setting stuff, a lot of cloud-based stuff, Google storage sharing things, a lot of back-end coding for the all the permissions and whatnot. That's going to be a pretty monstrous step, but yeah, everything else is kind of all the big stuff is there. And then it's training circle, and then it's just small things that honestly would not stop me from getting the beta out there to get into internal testing or closed testing. So that's coming real soon. As soon as I get training circle stuff done. So, all right. Until next time.
I'm staring down death with my dick in my hand.